competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the debacle of a game by the Washington Redskins against the Dallas Cowboys. This and much, much more live with Aaron and my good pal John. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, John?
What's up?
Excellent.
Welcome, everybody. Harry Hog Football, episode number 442 that we're trying to squeeze in here just in time before the
Trying to squeeze
game.
in one more sack.
Trying to squeeze in a sack.
Sack right before we have the Chargers game this afternoon.
Los Angeles Superchargers. Oh,
Chargers!
Dude, all right. The reason
I
why
can't
the
even get pumped for
podcast...
the game today. Like, what? We don't want to touch on it too much because we're doing another game today, but that Dallas game was about the worst game I've ever seen.
I want to touch on it a lot. I rewatched it last night in all of its horror to try to pinpoint the main reasons why that game was so horrible. And the only thing I can sum it up as is a series of unfortunate events. Isn't that like a movie or something? Lemony Snicket's series
Maybe.
of unfortunate events.
I don't
Something
know.
like that?
Some kids get afraid of that show, you know.
Well, we're going to call it Deuce Juice Gruden's series of unfortunate events.
Of unjuiced events.
Oh my God! I watched.
you know,
I can sum it up into 4 points, but we'll get into that after we thank our benevolent sponsor, Desmond C. Lee,
Yep.
who reached
can
out
follow
to
him.
us on Twitter this week. Desmond
Yeah.
C. Lee 2 on Twitter.
Yep. 'Cause Desmond Seeley 1 has been hacked or stolen.
And you can check out Desmond C. Lee on Rigo's Rag every once in a while. He has an article on there.
Yeah. So go check it out. He's good. I mean, he knows his Redskins. That's for sure.
He's a Redskins savant.
He may be a savant.
Anyway, yeah, I want to get into this Dallas game because I rewatched it last night, the condensed version, and I would never watch a condensed version of the game. I always have to see the game live to get the feel and the flow of the game. Like you lose that when you watch, just play to play basically.
Yeah.
But I think it's also good to watch play to play because you kind of sense how do I say it, more like you don't put as much emphasis on one play. You kind of can see like the whole thing from like a further out view, kind of. I don't know how to explain.
You get the whole feel of the game going on. It's very interesting.
So
I got you.
I can narrow down this debacle to 3 to 4 reasons.
Okay.
And I'll start by saying
We suck. We freaking suck.
well, the funny thing is after I rewatched the game, I didn't think we sucked as bad as it was a series of unfortunate events. And let me go through them with you. If you watch the first 3 quarters we're not going to talk about the turnovers yet. I'm just going to start on the defense. The first 3 quarters of the game, our defense gave up 10 points.
Yeah.
10.
17.
No, that was special teams.
Oh, that's right. That's right. On that kickoff return from that little new white lightning guy they got.
So our defense in the first 3 quarters only gave up 10 points, and that's after our offense gave up 1, 2, 3. Was it 4 turnovers?
4.
Were they all in the first 3 quarters? I thought
think
the
so,
fourth
yeah.
one was in the fourth quarter.
It might have been. I might be thinking of one that was P. Ryan going down first, being down on the ground before he gave it up again.
Okay, so 3 quarters, our defense gave up 10 points, and that's after the Cowboys had 3 extra drives that they shouldn't have had.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so you're seeing. All right, here's the trend here. Our defense is on the field more than they should be. Reason number one.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. And we're missing Jonathan Allen, who has been a critical loss as a run stopper out there. Who else are we missing?
Dude, we're missing tons of people. I can't even go into it. I can't
Trent-
even
Trent-
think about it. They've been missing so
Murphy.
long, I can't even think about them.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's playing really anymore. We had Zach Vigil again at linebacker in replace of Maurice Spate, who's in replacement of Foster.
Yeah, no lie.
Okay.
It's like
where
it's
you
like
forgot
insane
Phil-
line. It's like insane hair coming from all of these guys as they start looking out for each other.
And I
Or
just
catching up on each other.
after watching that game, like you, I was trying to think of all the dudes that we were missing. I completely forgot that we had that big fat fatty Phil Taylor that we got to stop up the middle of the line. People like that were been gone so long they weren't even a factor.
Yeah, really.
All right.
Although I never really expected him to make it like into the season in the first place.
Okay, but anyway,
Because he's a big defensive lineman. He's got bad legs. What's going to happen to your legs when you're a big defensive lineman or offensive lineman?
all right. Point number two. The defense, looking back at that game,
Yeah.
was a victim of being on the field too long. And I hate to say this, because we never do it. This is a little screwdriver on my desk, by the way. I just picked it up. And it's like most people use like a laser pointer. I use like a miniature screwdriver to get my point across.
My point is.
So where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I hate to say this, but if you look at this game, what the Dallas Cowboys did, was they kept feeding the ball
To the running back.
To the running back, even though the first 3 quarters, he was not that effective. If you go back, we were swarming. The first quarter, we were dominant on defense. They kept feeding it to Morris. But the combination of them feeding the ball to the running back over and over and over and pounding it and pounding it and pounding it like we always say we should do, and the fact that they got 3 turnovers, our defense by the fourth quarter were spent.
Yeah.
And they were peppering
backups to the backups.
And they were peppering in a nice catch by Des Bryant or someone every once in a while who burned Josh Norman. And you pepper those then, and that was like the dagger because they're pounding it, not getting first downs. Oh, occasional first down with a pass. Pounding it. By the fourth quarter, our defense, because of our offense, turning it over, and because of the Cowboys' game plan, they couldn't hold up.
That's the one thing that Dallas does really well with our offensive line and the running backs is pound it. And when they got a lead that we basically gave them in that game, and they just kept on going, they never looked back.
Yeah. So looking back, I thought I couldn't really blame the defense that much.
No, agreed.
They shut them down for the first 3 quarters for the most part. We would have been losing 10-7 at that point.
Yeah.
The other unfortunate event is, you ready for this? Nitschke.
Oh my God.
When rewatching this game, I watched him on every play. He was being driven back or just bypassed completely. I don't know how Kirk Cousins completed any passes. I watched that, and he had those drives where we scored points, and I'm like, how was he able to do this with this guy being pushed back in his face every single play? And I heard a lot of people complaining about Cousins. I'm like, no, dude, watch the game
No,
again.
it's not Cousins' fault.
Oh my goodness.
I don't understand that people that are complaining about Cousins, and sorry for any of you guys that are in the live chat or anything that do that are doing that as well. But I say it's not Kirk Cousins had 1 turnover that was his fault. The rest of them tipped passes should have been caught. I think the guy went right around Nitschke and knocked the ball out of his hands before he even knew he was there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an awful offensive line with all these backups, and they're just awful.
But
awful.
even to your point about that interception being Cousins' fault, after rewatching that game,
no, it was the other fumble. Like those 2 interceptions. Yeah, those 2 interceptions weren't his fault.
Yeah, but
again,
but this is what I'm saying. Once the Cowboys knew how bad Nitschke was, that pretty much limits the plays that we can call to like a 2-step drop, 1-step drop. You're not going to get big throws down the field. Kirk Cousins had no time to do anything. And so that made the Dallas defense even that more able to stop us.
Potent.
Yeah,
That made the Dallas defense more potent than ever. And it just goes to prove that Kirk Cousins is that much better of a quarterback than anyone, well, a lot of people are saying he is.
Yeah, let's welcome some people to the chat. We got BNG Buns, a.k.a. Rabbit Rads, and we got Alamo City in there as usual, and Texas Corpsman 100. Welcome to the chat. I see what you're saying, Texas Corpsman, about it's basic, but I think some of this, at least in that game, was due to the fact that Nitschke was letting people by. He couldn't do anything. We were like playing with half of a line. We couldn't dial up even any plays to get people down the field.
You have a screwdriver. I have chapstick. Listen,
y'all.
Listen to this.
All right, all right.
That. Yep.
Go ahead. I've got more to add, so go ahead and get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, it's to me, and that goes back to the whole coaching things that Kirk, Jay Gruden just isn't. I'll save it for a little bit because it's not anything new.
Here's what I have to say. Another unfortunate event. I haven't even gotten to the, fumbles and stuff yet.
Yeah.
Another unfortunate event. Early in this game, the first series, Pirine ripped off like a 12-yard run, and we start going away from the run. Like, I don't...
Yeah, dude.
If we would have done what Dallas did...
And just kept pounding their defense... yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were without Sean Lee in the middle. They had like corners that were more than capable of covering our crappy receivers. So we needed to keep pounding it like we did earlier with Pirine. And I know he got hurt. Someone else got hurt. But I don't know. Jay Gruden's not very good at customizing during a game or making any kind of adjustments whatsoever. So that's part of the problem I have with him. I mean, this was the game where I was just like, Jay Gruden, you're done. You need to get fired because you can't. It's been three years and 12 games this year. So what is that? 16 times 3 is 32, 48, 58, 59, 60 games. 60 games, if my math is wrong, and it probably is.
We don't care. It's close enough for government work.
He can't make adjustments with the team.
He's done. Yeah, Joe Gibbs was awesome on that.
Yeah, he just can't do it. They go in at halftime and they come back out and they're exactly the same.
And I hate to say it because I can't stand him. I can't stand the look on his face. But Garrett did that in this game. He did what he had to do to get his team to win. And of course, he had a lot of 4 turnovers to help. But once Moses was down, the game was done. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how much of it was how bad Nitschke was compared to Lawrence.
And he got no help.
Lawrence was.
Yeah.
But I didn't even see dudes over there helping.
No one was going over to help. Nobody.
And that's back to coaching.
And they kept saying it during the game. The announcers of the game were like, "Oh, well, he's not sending anyone over there to help." And you look again, and he still wouldn't do it. He still wouldn't do it. And that's why Jay Gruden needs to get cut.
Dude, every single passing play, Nitschke was like on roller skates going back or just on his butt.
Yeah.
If you see that, terrible. Dude, I invite you to go back and look at the replay. Was it Pirine that was down and then they said that when they fumbled it, but then he like know he was down? Was that him? If you look in the background, guess who's on his butt sitting behind him from that camera angle? Nitschke. I was cracking up when I saw it.
We're talking about one job Moses of being like a Pro Bowl perennial guy.
And
Nitschke.
All right.
Oh wait, but who would you want at left tackle? At right tackle. Nitschke or Tyler Catalina.
That's what I'm saying. Can we put
what are we gonna do?
Can we put both of them in, and then maybe we'll have a chance? Like, just give us an extra. Like, both guys can play.
Can we make one of them a tight end? Just because he's got so much bulk around him, it'll be that much harder for the guy to get around both of them.
Well, in these dire situations, smart coaches might do something like that.
Right. Not Jay Gruden. No, sir. Not Jay Gruden. He
So
just stands on the sideline going. A guy at work said Jay Gruden looked defeated. He looked defeated during this game. And when my coach is on the sideline looking defeated, it's time for that coach to go.
dude, he looked defeated after that kick return, even
Yeah.
after our defense had only given up 10 points.
Can we fire Kotwika? The special teams coach, if anyone even knows that's his real name.
All right, let me get back to the
You
special
gotta give it a, oh, yeah.
the special teams gaffes in this game. Of course, were the big one with the kick return for the touchdown. But what about Maurice Harris coming out of the end zone and catching a kick on the sideline at the 5-yard line that was obviously going out of bounds? We
Yeah.
would have had it at the 40, and instead we got it at the 12.
He stopped it at I think it was at the 4.
Where it was going out of bounds. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
he
think
ran
so.
it out to the 12. And also to
Way to go,
Texas
dude.
to Texas Corpsman 100's point in here about 2 years in a row being swept by Dallas, you have to go. If you take a job in Washington, there are Redskins fans that would debate whether they would rather have swept the Cowboys that year or won a playoff game. Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
You should know. You should study the playbook. You should study every Cowboys game, because if you want to keep the fans behind you as a coach, you win that game. You win that game against the Cowboys no matter what. So you should be, all right, this week we're playing the Vikings. So we're going to spend 90% of our time watching what the Vikings are doing and a little bit of time with the Cowboys, because we know that game is important. You win it. You play for that game. If you're not going to the Super Bowl this year, then your Super Bowl is against Dallas if you're going to be in Washington.
Yeah, pretty much.
And what did he do?
Nothing, because that's what he always does. Cut. Him and Little Deuce Juice.
Hold on, I got it. Hold on.
There we go.
I also, if I can find it, I had our good friend that I just talked to this week. You may know him, former Redskin. Running back, kick returner.
Yeah.
Talking about the Redskins play.
Play some damn football. You sucked on the field today. Play some damn football. You sucked on the field today.
Yeah, no lie, dude. Cut!
All right, now let's move on over to the elephant in the room, Jamison Crowder.
Oh, my God.
We were poised to go up 7-0 after our defense started so strong, just swarming the Cowboys. We could have shut down the crowd. Jamison Crowder is playing volleyball out there, tipping it up to the...
He had one of the worst games a Redskin has ever had. Period.
Did Texas Corpsman just point out that we've been swept 2 straight years by Dallas?
I think so, yeah.
That's 4 games.
Yeah.
That's worse than the Bills going to the Super Bowl and losing 3 straight times, in my opinion. Us losing to the Cowboys 4 straight times. How many times have we beat them since that game that we were at where RG3, we went to the playoffs? That awesome.
2012.
It was that also the last night game. We won.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I was looking at that ticket because it's on the the sports side of my fridge, and I was looking at it and it said a 1 p.m. game, and I was like, "What? That game wasn't at 1 p.m." Then I remembered that he moved it to prime time on that day because it was the big game. Whoever won was going to the playoffs.
Do you know how they have all these really bad news outlets now that try to write articles using a fill-in blank sheet, 5 reasons why?
Oh yeah.
Dude, 5 reasons why you're going to know the Redskins are going to lose that day. Reason number 1, they're playing in primetime.
Yep.
Reason number 2, they're favored to win.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We need to come up with 3 more reasons. Reason number 3, they're wearing their all burgundy outfits.
You pointed that out, dude, and I was like, I saw that text, and I was like, really? Is that true?
Dude, it's scrolling down here. Like, if you guys tweet during the game at us and we favorite it, it'll come up here on the next podcast here at the bottom.
Yeah.
But someone pointed out that Jay Gruden spent more time discussing which uniforms that we were going to wear against the Cowboys than actually preparing for the Cowboys game.
Yeah, no lie. Yeah, really. I mean, yeah. I don't really have anything else to say about him. He's done. He should be done. He's probably going to get passed this year because of all the injuries. But, I mean, it's his 4th year.
Yeah, I could see why he would get a pass for that, but at the same time, you got to get creative if you have all those injuries. You can't just go in there and pretend like, next guy up, he's going to be just as good. No, he's not. Put a tight end over there to help. Put a running back over there to help. Bring in a freaking defensive lineman and declare him as eligible as a tight end and send him over there to help.
Yeah. Remember Tom Compton? They did that with him a couple of years ago. Maybe it was a few years ago.
Remember the refrigerator? Dude, remember the refrigerator Perry coming in?
Perry.
Was he in as a Super Bowl? Didn't he come in as like a tight end? Or
he came in as a running back.
He carried
and
the
ran a touchdown.
Dude, I love that. I love that.
We need to get a big dude with big hands that'll hold onto the ball and have him go like crushing through on these 4th and 1. Since we're going to start him 5 yards back, get some humongous lineman guy to be like, whoa, and running through and holding the ball, and maybe, just maybe, he'll get through the line instead of these little teeny tight end or running back guys that can't do it.
Are you talking about on 3rd and 1?
No, 4th and 1. Yeah, 3rd and 1.
Anything in 1. We can't
anything
get
in
one.
1.
Oh, yeah. All right. So that's reason number 4 the Redskins are going to lose. They go for it on 3rd and 1 in the red zone.
Yeah, right.
Reason number 4, Josh Norman is trying to cover somebody.
Dude, you pointed it out, but I think we've already discussed this before. Is Josh Norman just like a regular guy? I know he's injured still, quote unquote injured with the rib injury, but I mean, I don't know.
He has a brand to protect.
He has a brand to protect. He needs his brand needs to be protected on the field because they're not doing anything.
Oh man.
People are like, they don't throw at him that much. I'm like, really? People are throwing at him more and more every week because they're realizing he's not that good.
All right, I have some other unfortunate things to discuss.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So anyway, my unfortunate events, the coaching, the play of Jamison Crowder,
play of everybody,
the coaching of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Countering Jay Gruden's crappiness.
Countering Jay Gruden's
They did what we always say we need to do, which is sad because I'm giving accolades to the team I hate more than anything because they did what we always say the Redskins should do. Just pound the ball and wear down the defense. Our defense was playing so good, and they still wore them down.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, other unfortunate events, just to round it out. Nitschke. Now, do we have Moses back today? Is the injury report out yet? It should be out soon. Or the inactives?
It's a 4:00 game, so.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
I was about to say, it's coming out right now, almost.
I was starting to get all pumped up, like, yeah, we're going to finish this and then go live.
Live!
At the game, which would have been awesome.
I mean, at this point, we're not mathematically out of the playoffs. Somehow, we're still in there, supposedly. But, I mean, would you play Kirk Cousins for the last 4 games behind an offensive line full of people that got, like, hired off the street?
No.
No, not at all. If you're going to re-sign him.
Which we should, but we might be too dumb to.
That's what I heard a little bit of that this week. People were saying that a report from Washington said that receivers were unhappy with like the quarterback for whatever reason. And I'm like, are the receivers unhappy with the quarterback because they suck? or is this an unnamed source from Redskins Park who is shilling for, Alan DeBruce and Dan Snyder to get rid of him because they don't like Kirk Cousins? For whatever reason.
First of all, anytime I see something that say sources say, I just don't even read the article. So if
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
even name the source, then it's all BS in my opinion.
Yeah.
AKA fake news.
AKA fake news. Yep.
Which is like the words of the year, right? What 1 year iPod was the word of the year? I think this is fake news is the word of the year.
Fake news.
Anyway, playoffs? No,
Playoffs?
dude, there's no we are 1-4 in our division, and you're talking about maybe being in the playoffs?
I know, right? No, I'm not talking about it. I'm just saying somehow mathematically, and it should. If we lose today, or if someone ahead of us wins, I guess then it'll technically be over. But I mean, when you lost to Dallas for the second game in a row, for the fourth game in a row against Dallas,
And Dallas sucks, by the way.
and they suck.
They didn't win this game because they were good. They won
No.
this game because, like I was saying,
Because
a
we
series of
sucked.
unfortunate events.
Series of unfortunate events.
Crowder, Nitschke, Jay and Deuce Gruden. Special teams.
Little loose juice.
And an occasional dose of Josh Norman. And Breland. We got to... Well, why?
Breland
That
had
brings us
two-
back. Why was Breland on Des Bryant? Two times in the end zone.
He had pass interference on both those times in the end zone. One, he caught the touchdown anyway, and the other one, we gave it to him at the 1.
Yeah, and Josh Norman does these cutesy little commercials about, texting Des Bryant, how he's like sucks, and Des Bryant's like, you can't cover me and stuff. Well, one reason you can't cover him is because Jay Gruden doesn't put him over on him to cover him.
Yep.
If he's supposed to be our dude that makes commercials about how great he is at covering Des Bryant, why isn't he covering Des Bryant?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
2 reasons. 1, he's not as good as he thinks, and Jay Gruden doesn't think so. Or 2, Jay Gruden doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. Or that it could be what's his face? The old linebacker that's coaching the defense. I don't even remember his name right now
Minuski.
because who cares? It's Minuski. I think he's actually doing okay for first-year defensive coordinator.
I think-
considering how bad we've been injured.
Dude, if you look at the first, I'm going to say it one more time, and then I'm not going to say it again. If you watch the first 3 quarters of the game, the defense held up pretty well.
Yeah.
Now, I also have to point
what,
out,
Lenny?
though, that this was against a team that had only scored like 9 points in the previous 3 weeks. So I don't know. So maybe it's all an illusion, and we just completely suck.
Yeah. Well, it may have been 3 quarters, but we have to play 4 in every game.
All right, Texas Corman is saying we need to get good free agents and we need to draft. And we touched on this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
The reason we can't get good free agents is because no one wants to come to Washington because we're mediocre.
True.
The
Very
good
true.
free agents want to go to the good teams like the Patriots. And then
Steelers.
the good draftees
Seahawks.
go to the crappiest team. All the mediocre teams just are in purgatory.
Like the last thing we want to do is have to pick. Like we really had an anomaly in the draft this year where we got Jonathan Allen. Hopefully he will pan out and not be an injury prone guy. But
Yeah.
he fell as far as he did to us, and that was outstanding. But when you're picking like 15th, 17th in the draft every year, you're not getting a superstar.
Nope.
You're getting like, he might be good, he might not be. I don't know.
But
Anyway,
I think we also should get a compensatory pick for Sua Cravens this year.
We should.
A pretty good one.
We should, but they won't.
No, they won't. They hate us.
Yeah. The league hates us. The NFL hates us.
I think they've like moved their hate towards other people now, like the Giants. I don't know. I think the hatred for us. No, the Cowboys. They've moved their hatred towards the Cowboys after the spat between Jerry
Spat.
Jones and his son. and Goodell, who I've heard just got a contract for like some ungodly amount of millions and millions of
$40
dollars.
million a year. $40 million a year. Wow.
40, not
40.
4.
40.
He's getting paid more in 1 year than like Joe Gibbs, the greatest coach of all time. So I'm just going to say it. Made in his entire Hall of Fame career winning 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
to just like
Or-
make people angry and get booed every time he comes out at the podium.
Especially now.
Oh man,
Even
he's
more
horrible.
worse than ever because he's not just like gearing that stuff towards us.
But okay, to wrap
purpose,
up my summary of the Cowboys game and the unfortunate events, it all comes back to none of this would happen if Little Deuce Juice wasn't juicing up our players to the point that they're injured every game.
Yep. They're Little Deuce Juice doesn't know what he's doing. He can lift weights really nice in Belarus with Little Deuce Juice.
Little Deuce Juice and Belarus.
In Belarus.
You don't know what I got. And I'm not bragging, babes, so don't put me down. But I got the biggest set of guns in town. He's the Little Deuce Juice. You don't know what I got. I do know what you got. You got half your team injured. And it all comes back to him. You won't hear this on ESPN or anywhere else.
Only hear like factual stuff like this here on Harry Hog Football.
We know, and it's
Little
not
Deuce-
fake news, that Little Deuce Juice has injured our entire team. Because muscles have to have some recovery time. And over the course of a season, you don't have much recovery time.
That's true.
I mean, if you can look at my giant guns, you can tell that I know what I'm talking about as far as weightlifting is concerned.
Ooh, yeah.
I've been
Oh,
doing
I've
this
got a
too
little-
many years.
I've got a little bit of injury report news.
Oh, good.
Want to,
I mean,
flip.
I hope it's good. Go ahead. Is
Do we
Moses
have
playing, even with 2 bum ankles? Because that's better news than Nitschke.
Moses was questionable and limited participation in the last 2 practices going through Friday. Trent Williams, a little bit on Friday. I don't know if he's going to play or not. Roulier, Spate, and McLean were listed as questionable. So Roulier may be back, so we don't have to have Loldhole or whatever his name is.
Bergstrom. I didn't even touch
Bergstrom.
on him, but he was almost as much of a swinging gate as Nitschke.
That's got to be a hard job being center because you got to snap the ball, and then someone wants to, a 300-pound person wants to run you over.
And linebackers.
Yeah, and linebackers might be coming in there as well. So that's always a hard job. But, dude, again, Jay Gruden, if a guy needs help, give him some freaking help. That's all I'm saying.
Can I touch on Josh Doxson in this game?
Yes.
he had
Jordan Reed's out, too.
he had a couple drops.
Shock. Yep,
He also had a nice catch where he went up and got the touchdown.
he did.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Ryan Grant, I think, had enough nice catch. And P. Ryan played pretty well in
He
his
did,
limited
Yeah, when it wasn't hurt.
chances from Jay Gruden.
Yeah. Kurt was running for his life, man. Kurt
Yes,
running for his life.
Thank you for bringing that up. In light of rewatching the game, what Kirk was able to accomplish, in my mind, was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty outstanding that he was able to do that because whoa, just whoa. It's amazing, like you said, that he was even able to throw the ball.
You might as well have taken me and thrown me in the place of Nitschke and then said, here, run an offense, knowing that you've got Aaron over there who's never played football before,
right.
trying to block 300-pound linemen that are like Pro Bowlers.
And then you got like super skinny me out there trying to be Josh Norman and sucking all over the place. It might as well be you and me out there as opposed to Nitschke and Norman or Bergstrom.
Sounds like a leisure suit, like a leisure. What is it called?
Nitschke.
What's it called? A lounge
Ledger?
singer. Lounge
Singer, Nitschke.
Leisure suit Larry Nitschke. All right, what do we got going on here in the chat room? Texas Corman's ripping it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's see, Alamo City. Y'all should make a Redskins top 10 list. Top 10 things to do in the offseason. Here's one. Not suck.
Yeah. Number 1, get a new coach.
Number 2, get a new general manager. Number 3, get a new owner. Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, number 1, we need to get a new owner. Really, is what it's going to come down to. That's going to be the end all and be all of this awful decade and decades long problem. that we've
And
had.
I think Joe Gibbs may have enough money to buy the team.
He may. He could sell all of his NASCAR teams, and he could take all that money from all the special appearances where he goes around signing his book.
And if every Redskins fan donates $1,
And if every who said that, dude?
he might be able to afford the team. All
He
right,
might be
so
able to
here's what's going to happen. Joe Gibbs will buy the team. First order of business, fire Bruce Allen, get a new general manager. Second order of business, fire Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden and all the coaching staff. Maybe keep Manusky, unless you can get someone better.
Next order of business, fire Juice.
Next order of business, fire Kotwika.
Um,
Our special teams is horrible.
next order of
Horrible.
business,
Get me a Coke. Dude,
Move
we
the
raised
stadium
money
back
for
to
you. It was
DC so
called
we can-
Allen Plan.
move the stadium back to DC so we can get some support
Yeah.
behind our team. Now that you got the foundation laid, start building a team that wins some football games.
Yeah.
Focusing on 2 games a year to start.
Yeah, right?
All right.
It's crazy. 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 By the way, Alfred Morris had his first 100-yard game since the last game he played against Dallas for the Redskins.
Dude, he's dead to me.
4
Don't even-
years ago.
Don't even bring him up.
That just shows you right there. Because that's another thing. People run up the middle on us every game. Every game. This year, last year, year before that, every game.
Dude, I'm hoping that
Morris had 100 yards for the first time in 4 years.
B&G Buns can pull up the stats of Alfred Morris through the first 3 quarters, though.
I think that's, I don't know. I'm not.
I'm not either. It's not worth it. The
Yeah.
thing that cut me the deepest with Alfred Morris was not that he had a good game against us, because I was expecting that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
oh,
then
yeah.
he did his. The thing that cut me the deepest in that point in time was that he did his signature touchdown, swinging for the fences celebration in a Cowboys uniform, and I was
Yeah.
like, that cuts me
That
real
sucked.
deep. That cuts me
Yeah.
real deep, dude. Real deep. But I probably would have done it too. I wasn't happy when we got rid of him.
I was, because he hasn't had a 100-yard game in 4 years until he played us.
Well, he was
crazy.
solid in that game.
I know. In the first time in 4 years. Against us. It's always against us. Always.
Okay, so well, let's just go ahead and go into it.
Yeah.
If you have any.
And now, the coveted and ever-elusive Game Ball Award.
Game Ball Award is brought to you by
Poo. Not rid of poo, just poo. I wasn't gonna give one, but I'm gonna give one to Kirk Cousins because I'm surprised he can still like stand up and walk, and like he was able to leave the stadium without like crutches or back braces or something like that, because his offensive line,
was non-existent.
yeah, it might as well have never been there. And as usual, the coaching didn't help him, didn't shore up where people were bad.
Dude, do you remember that hit where he got completely crushed by that lineman and he just got right up and that lineman was like down and injured?
Yeah, and that's exactly why we need to keep him. That's exactly what we need to do to keep him right then. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Terrible.
dude, he's very, I don't want to even say it to, what's the word, jinx it.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just say has the opposite availability type of RG3.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and those guys are the ones that are great. Like, you know,
Guys like that take those hits and they just keep on going. All those like speedy quarterbacks, they're always get injured because they're always out there getting run over.
yep, I agree.
What happens?
Anyway,
So yeah, I give him a game ball just because he survived. He made it through the whole game.
and somehow orchestrated some points.
Yeah, somehow. So that's it.
I'm not giving one. All right. If I had to give one, it would have been him, I think. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's all I could think of. Yeah. All right,
It's
let's
time
move
for
on.
this week's Kicking the Balls Award.
This one's easy.
You go ahead on this one first.
Deuce Juice. Just kidding. I'm going to have to give mine to none other than. This was close.
Yeah.
Very close. But my award is going to have to go to Nitschke
Yeah.
for single-handedly rendering the offense inept.
He's one job Nitschke. He was one job Nitschke, and he did not do his job. He did not do his job well.
I don't know if I'm ever going to complain about Moses again.
I know, right?
It's like count your blessings, dude.
Yeah, truly. My
This
kicking
guy's
balls
worse than
goes-
Sharp Ordonish. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, but Sharp Ordonish was a starter. Well, I guess kind of.
Well, he shouldn't have been. Anyway, go ahead.
He definitely should have been. He's the second worst lineman I've ever seen. Jamison Crowder. Awful. Worst game I've ever seen for a Redskin.
He did have one redeeming play, but it wasn't
I
enough
don't
to
even
redeem
remember
him.
it.
Oh, when Kirk Cousins threw that immaculate pass, like back behind himself, and Crowder came in and caught it and ran for like 30 yards or something.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't even close to enough after
Yeah.
what he did on 2 consecutive plays.
Yeah.
The defense still, for the most part, bailed him out. But, like we said before, it was evident later in the game when they were too worn down to do anything.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And Josh is
that's it.
giving his to
Sean Taylor. All right.
Sean Taylor for not being there.
For not being there and playing in the game. All right. Moving on.
What
I guess
else?
that's it.
Do we need to talk about the San
Actually.
Diego Superchargers game a little bit?
Chargers.
I got to say, it took me this long. I'm glad that we had those extra days because it took me till last night to even be able to think about this game again, and that's why I went back and rewatched it. Because it was so horrible. Like, I didn't even set my like fantasy teams for the week or anything. I was just like, I'm done. I'm not.
Yeah. Alamo City Music gave his game ball to Ryan Grant. That's a good one. He did have a good game.
That's it. No one else is giving
That's
one.
it. Kicking the balls to Crowder from him as well. Just so much crap. Anyway, all right, dudes. Enjoy the San Diego Superchargers game here in Los Angeles Coliseum.
Do you have
LA
anything to add about
Coliseum.
this game?
What?
Do you have any insights about the game or anything
Nope.
to say about it? Except we'll wait and see how bad the coaching, the playing.
Good Lord. I'm watching. I'm looking forward to watching today's game because I think it's going to be a disaster.
And the weird thing is with the Redskins is that's usually when it's not, right? Like,
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, there's nothing for them to play for.
Yeah.
They have no one left to play. And then all of a sudden they'll come out and play well, which I never understand.
Yeah.
But I don't even see that happening today. Sorry, guys. I want to be optimistic, but I guess it's optimistic we'll get a higher pick.
Yeah, see, that's what we're talking about.
And it could
Now
be
the
worse.
city
We
pointed
could be
out.
the Giants.
Who already fired their coach and GM.
Yeah. But then they have that. Didn't they? They promoted Spagnola or whatever. Weren't we looking at him for our coach or before?
Yeah,
Gruden
he
came
just
in?
didn't want to leave.
Yeah. So
He didn't
that
want to
actually
go
might be
anywhere.
a good thing for them. if he's as good as people were saying he was going to be.
I don't know. They
knows?
suck too. And you know, he's got 2 Super Bowls, but Eli Manning is in the twilight of his career. That's for sure.
Yeah, but you know why? But to bring him up, you know why he's been able to play for so long and have 2 Super Bowl wins.
Part of it is his offensive line.
And the fact that he's one of those durable dudes.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that keeps getting hit, then he gets up and he has a look on his face like he always does. And then he goes and throws yeah. And then he goes and throws touchdowns. I don't know how he did it for so long.
Anyway, we'd like to thank everyone for joining in the chat room today on this late notice. They finally fixed my internet yesterday at like 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's mostly fixed. I guess it's holding up. I'd like to give a shout out to Desmond C. Lee. If you haven't, our video podcasts are available on YouTube. You don't have to watch them live. You can have it on YouTube. I wanted to make that clear that it archives there. And they're still available in all the normal channels through iTunes and TuneIn Radio. I think Stitcher Radio. I don't know. A bunch of different places have it. And probably some people that are stealing it and then putting their own commercials on it to make money, for all I know.
Dude, this one sucks. Let's put commercials on it.
But you can watch it commercial free on iTunes, I guess. And straight from our website. You can stream it from there if you want. Just harryhogfootball.com.net. All right, well, let's play the outro. Thanks to everybody that are sticking with the team through thin.
Too thin and thin. And little deuce.
And the little deuce juice experiment will be over soon.
I don't think his contract's going to get renewed after this year. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I had $1, every Redskins fan wanted to see the team get changed over to a new orange, I would make a lot of sweeping changes.
Yep. So hail to the Redskins, guys, and I don't even know if I can say it this week. Joker!
Joker!